Going across my front, so I will put my camera here to get going on startbuilding.me, my nightly training session that I do to indicate to people that training is mandatory. Like and subscribe. If you follow on Twitch, you will be able to be part of my prize giveaway. It tallies the points and the time that you trained and ask questions. Everybody gets points, and we'll hopefully be able to give out some cool prizes over the time. So look folks, like it or not, you have to train every day. Exercise is mandatory, just like eating or sleeping, but you really just need to form a good habit that in your mind that it's not some arduous, no pain, no gain, fitness industry garbage. Hey, Ben, good to see you. It's something that you can just do a little bit, as we do here every night, and along with walking, if you just walk to and from school, to the bus station for your commute, do the bare minimum there as well, you will be doing more than 90% of the world's population. I can guarantee you that. Anyway, having some problems with my mics clipping, but who cares? Let's get cracking. I've just come back from a massive walk. I've had way too much sun today. I'm tired, so we'll have it short and sweet. Perfect, right? So in mind, I'll start at 2 minutes. So it's 1 minute 38, 39. Limber up. Maybe some arm circles, elbow circles, wrist circles. Swing your legs out. Do what your leg's supposed to do. Swing it out a bit. Get the blood pumping, and let's crack it on now at 2 minutes. We are doing squats, folks. And it's as simple as that, like you're sitting on a chair, standing up. I'm just doing a little bit more coordinated than you might be doing when you slump down on to your office chair at work. I know I'm the same. Sometimes you just slouch there like you've been shot in the back, because you're in the salt mine of the 21st century, as was quoted by a girl that we went to school with, and I just thought that was nothing more perfect than I've ever heard of an example of an office. Take it at your own pace, folks. As I always say, you're competing against yourself and your performance yesterday. Nobody else, right? Developing yourself is better than any video game character. You carry it for life, folks. So it's something that any improvement that you make, you will train your brain, and you will be able to do it again and again. Even if you lose some muscle mass, you'll still be able to have the technique to do it. Now, my goodness, I can feel this in my butt tonight. I did enough of these yesterday that today my butt's sore. So the best time to do exercise when you're feeling a bit of fatigue or sore is the next day. It's called active recovery. And you've probably heard about me jumping out into my freezer at 1 degree Celsius. I just refreshed the water today and put 6 more kilos of magnesium sulfate in it. Perfect for muscle recovery, but this is actually better for muscle recovery than that, which is saying something. So if something's sore, counterintuitively, the best way to overcome that pain is to train. And by doing that, you'll be pumping the blood back into the damaged muscle, stretching it back open, sending protein blood down there to heal more of the damage, and the cycle of life continues, folks. What a lot of people do is they go for broke, get thrashed by some personal trainer, feel sore the next day, feel even worse 48 hours later, and think, I'm not going to pay someone to torture me when I can just sit at home and eat chips. And it's like, it's an interesting proposition, because I'm like, I like chips, I like sitting around away from people, that sounds like a great idea to me. But if I could do that and feel good, I would do it. But folks, as I said, your brain and your body only works if you work it. I'm going to try and phrase that again and again and again as a statement to people, because there's nothing truer than that I'll be saying here, folks, other than protein's essential in your diet as well. But we'll talk about macronutrients later. You've got to train your body, folks. If I don't do any exercise, I'm useless, right? And maybe, that's the way I've conditioned myself. I'm not going to dispute that. But nonetheless, I put it to you that every human will feel better if they exercise and won't be at their full potential unless they do. And that's why I'm here is the drum and bass Richard Simmons, he's a Russell Simmons? No, Russell Simmons is the guy from Def Jam. Richard Simmons is the quasi-homosexual dancing, the death metal version of him, or the drum and bass version, whatever. So, even after that, after doing a few now, the blood in my muscles has made significantly less pain. So I'll do another 10, lining up my toes, arms coming out as a counterbalance, sitting back into my heels, weight going to the outside of my toes, feet and toes. Why? Because your feet have arches for a reason, folks. Hopefully you can see the the dirt and grime, that's where the feet come in contact. See that clean patch there where your heel is? It's clean because it doesn't come in contact with the ground. So the weight goes to the outside of your feet, sitting back into your heels. Breathe in, breathe out on the way out. Breathe in. Think of it like a bellows, like I always say. An old device that you used to stoke fires with, especially a blacksmith who used to want to get the fire as hot as possible whilst forging steel items like spearheads, swords, and other weapons. If you like Diablo and games like that, there's probably some imagery in there about bellows. So, you come in here, say g'day, ask any relevant questions, I'll answer them. If not, get back to me. From the vast amount of social media platforms that I'm on, check them out at startbuilding.me to find the website and see the addresses of all the different social media platforms that I use. If not, just come and ask me questions here. If they're serious, I'll answer them. If not, I'll ignore them. Pretty standard, right? Just like, like it or not, as all my combat sports coaches used to say back in the day, if you're here to clown around and be stupid, there's a door. There's a lot of people in here that might want to be taking it seriously. So I'm going to take those people seriously as well and answer their questions. Not really. So there's a protocol that I really love and train when I train at the gym called German volume training, and that's 10 reps by 10 sets, right? So just for the time here, I'll try and do a squat session of German volume training, okay? So I'll explain it whilst I'm doing it. So again, I'll line up, weight going to the outside of my feet, sitting back into the heels, looking up, or even slightly up, maybe just 90 degrees, breathing in. And you can alternate your breathing as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's set 1 down. German volume training, GVT. Yeah, mate, it's hard to beat. I've done various ones. There was one of Pavel used to talk about that I think the military police in the Russian army used to do. And that was sets of 5 repetitions, 7 sets. So obviously the intensity of those 5 reps go up. The biggest I've ever been in life was when I did that. So he's right. I was eating 6,000 to 7,500 calories a day. Dietary, obviously heavy fat and protein macros. Very minimal cardio, and like I said, 5 repetitions of the biggest weights that I could pick up, 7 sets. And 3 minutes between sets, so really you can take your time. It's not a rush. When you're doing weights and stuff like this, you want to let your blood reoxygenate, folks. You don't want to get all seized up with lactic acid. We're here to condition our muscles, just like heart rate going up, heart rate going down. We want blood pressure to go up, blood pressure to go down. But how blood shunts into muscles, it flows in quicker than it drains out, which is why motocross riders and rock climbers, wrestlers, you know, a whole bunch of different things that I do, maybe even drummers, man, get problems with RSI because you get that pumped grip because the blood's flowing out and it doesn't flow out as fast. So there's a surgical procedure that a lot of these professional guys in that sport do where they get some of those muscle fibers cut, or they do some procedures so that the blood flows out quicker, which is obviously pretty extreme. Yes, well, 100%, right? Why I try to get people away from intensity in exercise is because the intensity element has done the most damage for me. Shoulder damage, back damage, like doing heavy deadlifts, you know, and picking it off the ground. Unless your form's really good, and you know, I don't have exactly a power lifter's frame. I have a high center of gravity, so I'm inevitably going to have a rounded out back at some stage as the intensity goes up. You can be jacked and really, really strong doing GVT. Like, if you want to get into powerlifting, then you'll have to change it up, and then you can do heavy singles, which was good as well. So you reduce the number of repetitions you do just by doing one massive single, say a squat, and do one massive squat, re-rack it, then wait 15, 20 seconds, and then do another massive squat, wait 15 and 20 seconds. And you're training that heavy intensity without doing the multiple repetitions that ultimately do the damage more than the intensity itself. The repetitions do the damage, right? So that's why I've always been so critical of CrossFit, because one, you're competing to become what, the best gym junkie in the world or something. Like, you know, I'm all about sport, but a sport to become good at exercising seems kind of stupid to me. That aside, you're training stuff like they're doing snatches and you know, clean and jerks and stuff for repetitions, and inevitably after a few repetitions their form's going to go down and they're just going to bugger themselves. And for what? To say I'm the world champion CrossFitter? I don't know, it sounds incredibly lame to me. Sorry folks, if you like CrossFit, get the hell out of here. Just joking. Stick to it and then come back in 10 years and say I'm right when you're all crippled. Anyway, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I really feel that slingshot in my butt the better I'm getting. Moving up from unconscious competence back into that conscious competence realm. The more I do start building me, the better my form gets as well. And what you're really finding out is that when the weight's going down, you're loading up all those muscles in your posterior chain that's going to pull you back up as a slingshot. So what you get is to that position now, and then there's this brief second change where all of a sudden you feel under your butt, you get tension, and then that will pull you back up. So you're going down, and then you'll feel the muscle engage at the bottom of your glute, and that's what's going to pull you back up. So you'll become more and more mindful of those things as time goes down, and that feels really good. The muscle clench in your butt, it feels very, very natural. You can feel what it's supposed to do, and something that most people just don't get, I think, don't feel so much because they just don't do this exercise enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have a break, shake it off. Take some time and breathe in between. Listen to an audiobook. I've been watching a video series from this Italian dude who talks about all the physics and industrial design technology from performance vehicles and cars. It's very cool. I'll post the link on one of my pages with one of the videos as he explains some mechanics that can apply to biomechanics as well. Very, very cool. What else did I do? I got my new steering boss to put my new Italian steering wheel on my Beetle, but I ran out of time today. I was adjusting my short throw shifter and I didn't even get a time to drive the Beetle. I walked the dogs about 10 kilometers, so sometimes you just got to give up your day for the hounds, and they love it, but they are absolutely smoked now. I said walk before, and normally their ears prick up, and they looked at me like, please no, please no more. And I was like, it's all good. I don't want to go either. So they're done. Did some clerical issues for Start Building Me in Townsville. What else? Yeah, my studio outside's coming along really well. I just really need to find a light that's bright enough. Like these LED panels that I have in here are obviously perfect, nice and bright, make me look infinitely younger and better looking than I am. It's, you know, the wrinkle eliminator. Crow's feet? What crow's feet, bro? I'm 20 years old. And I would like to have a really bright panel for the outside, because it just to keep it standardized to what it looks like in here. So I might have to shell out quite a bit for a powerful LED. I'll have to train with sunglasses on because it'll be so powerful. Anyway, 10 more. Think. Weight to the outside of your feet, sitting back into your heels. Arms coming out as a counterbalance so you don't fall backwards, and breathe. This should be second nature, folks. This should be something that you should do all day, every day. It should be like drinking a glass of water or going to bed at night. If you struggle with it, the good news is that it will quickly rectify this problem to be able to do it proficiently. But the bad news is that if you cannot support your body weight under gravity, that's not a good sign for either your muscle mass or your general mass as a person. So, hey, start building me. That's why we're here, right? Just come, sign up, subscribe, see the videos, drag your ass here, or just be like, I don't want to go and get lectured by old man Gordo, so just stand up from your desk, breathe, and do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The only thing more expensive than education is ignorance, is a great quote that I heard. You can ignore this advice, think you know better, think it's not going to catch up on you, but it will catch up on you, folks. And I know so many people, this happened 10 years ago. They were 30, they started getting big guts, doughy, sloppy, hard to breathe, coughing, wheezing. At 30, like, man, like, what type of life do you want to live? And I'm not being critical if you don't care, but I put it to you that if you want to mitigate bouts of anxiety and depression, you want to eat a bit more junk food than normal, you can counteract that with the amount of training you do. You know, The Rock has a cheat day a month. I have a cheat day a week. And by cheat day, I mean, I'll go to McDonald's and have 2 double sausage and egg McMuffins, a large orange juice, a large cappuccino, and 4 hash browns. And just, I'll finish it before I leave the car park from the drive-thru. You know what I mean? Like, you can do that stuff because you're going to burn the calories. Now, sure, seed oils, cholesterol, blah, 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 the fact that it's mainly sugar in McDonald's stuff, especially the bread. Hey, 6 million ways to die, choose one. And if it comes from Macca's once a week, I don't really care. Mate, definitely do it with push-ups, man. If you're doing it with push-ups, that's what I noticed from people that I were training. You put on a lot of mass from it as well. Because a lot of dudes were just trying to get as many push-ups as they can, and inevitably 10 by 10 isn't going to be enough for push-ups. You'll do like 20 by 10s instead. And I was even doing 30 by 10s, but it will make a massive no fillet of fish. Yeah, well, mate, honestly, I don't think they sell it anymore. That's a good point. I'm going to have to go. Yeah, well, I haven't really changed, but I just forgot about it because, yeah, I'll have to see if it's still on the menu. I think, you know, like Tassos says, my grandmother eats that. I think a lot of people's grandmothers died and then they didn't really put it back on the menu. So, mate, I'm half inclined to get into the Baja Beetle and drive up there right now and just get one and then do a live stream of me eating like 10 at a time. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to crack out my... Yeah, totally. That's it. You can ask questions and win prizes. And there'll be a wager to see how many I can eat before I run to the bathroom and spew it all up. That stuff's kooky as well. Hey, Ben, I'm going to go to Macca's and see how many I can eat. And then I'm going to go to the bathroom and vomit it all up. And then I'm going to open the wrappers and record the wrappers opening. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, ooh. But yeah, like I said, I'm a bit old school like that, bro. But actually, maybe not ASMR, but I like EMDR. That's cool. I've been doing a lot of that for therapy. Hisham got me onto that and some tapping techniques. Some stuff that seems pretty out there, but my goodness, the EMDR, like reprogramming your brain. I'm either psychosomatically or not. It makes me feel better if I'm wigging out about something and I want to try and reprogram myself out of a commonly occurring bad thought or whatever. It can, you know, especially over the last year, it's been really, really, really good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big Jazzercise is at a wedding tonight, so he gets off the hook. He had to drive up to Sydney from the south coast, from his new digs down there in the coast, so that's good for him. EMDR, yeah, it's cool, man, and the tapping one is cool as well. These, like your sternum, I think your whatever that is, just sort of underneath your larynx there, those two bones where it comes to clavicle. Like your brow, I think, underneath your nose. Like there's different places where you tap yourself whilst positively and reinforcing yourself for something that you did which you deem a bad behavior, but is just, you know, a figment of your imagination, or basically like, you know, I shouldn't have said my sister looks fat in those jeans. I'm not a bad person and I love myself, you know, just as a lame example. And these specific points are points that they attribute towards you being able to reprogram myself, I suppose, or recondition yourself to that memory. Like I said, it might be the power of wishful thinking, but that was a cool one as well, and something that I've been doing a lot of. And as somebody who's done a lot of therapy, you know, you'll try anything because it's surprising what works and what doesn't. As somebody who's done alprazolam, temazepam, Valium, SSRIs, SNRIs, Vyvanse, you know, dexamphetamine, all that stuff is garbage. So the pharmaceutical remedies to me have been useless. Exercise is a panacea, but you want some element of growth, so you can't only rely on that, because if you get injured or whatever, you'll be doom or gloom. But some of those different methods have been really useful. The kinesthetic learning, which sounds similar, I'll have to Google that, thank you. It's key search terms for me to check out. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'm not going to go to McDonald's and look for a fillet of fish. Actually, no, I've got kangaroo. I'll do it. What's tomorrow? I'll do it on Friday night. 1, 2, 3, 4, slingshot, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I'll start doing here, maybe instead of push-ups for this particular channel, show some different exercises that you can do to open and unlock your hips if you get problems with your hips from squatting, or sent you a link for light and outside studio ideas. Very cool, thank you very much. Excellent, because at the moment it's like if I stand that far in front of the camera, you can see the light rather, and it has this mad strobing effect. It makes me nauseous, and probably the viewers as well. Other than that, that is very cool. Thank you very much. So one thing that I've been noticing is I've been getting slightly tight glutes from squatting. A really good exercise that you can do to unlock I'll try and show like that. Maybe this way will be better. Unlock your glutes. So just imagine you sit on your butt with one leg folded like that, and then rotate your body so your leg is straight back out, sitting back onto your glutes, positioning your hands either side like that, and you'll feel the stress in the leg opposed to the glute opposed to the leg that's straight out. And obviously to switch it out and change it, do the same in reverse and sit back. That's great. Yes, I definitely need to do more of that. Need to stretch that out a bit more. I might just finish on this actually, do 2 more of these stretches, one on each side. So you can sort of practice shifting around which angle your leg's gonna have, how far your leg has to be out. Is your leg gonna be straight? Are you gonna be pressing on your toes? Are you gonna have your legs straight, toes straight out like that? That might work for you. Switch it back up. Sitting back in, and my goodness, that is tight. I've maybe neglected that a little bit too long. I could change it up to my ground cam, but the further the camera away is, the less of my sweating ape body you will see. So, and that's it, folks. That's 30 minutes. It's more, you know, I like shooting the breeze with people and people that ask questions. And hey, people who provide information like that, that's worth some points. I'll hit you up with some points for whatever that's worth. Thank you very much, Sanity. I'll check out that link and not go to McDonald's. That's right, because I'm going to have sauerkraut and kangaroo. Take it easy, folks. Have a good night. Happy Wednesday, hump day. We're getting there. Unless you're like me and self-employed, then